Welcome back to the deep dive. We're here to sift through the sources and pull out the really actionable stuff you need. Today, we're tackling something fundamental, truly universal, the 24 hours we all get in a day. We're doing a deep dive into a guide that's all about effective life skills, really about getting control over those hours.
Yeah, and the source material we're looking at, it's built on this surprisingly powerful idea that your time is your life. It's a philosophy that kind of forces you to see minutes differently, not just spending them, but investing them. And for you, the listener, the goal here is pretty clear. You're looking for that deep knowledge, but maybe without getting bogged down by some super complicated, rigid system. So what we're doing is boiling this guide down basically to two core things: a really simple three-part framework for planning your day that you could actually stick to, and then the key rules for, stopping that time drain that just eats away at modern life.
Exactly, because we all know the feeling, right? You look at
Mhm.
some people and you wonder, how do they do it? Demanding job, hobbies, learning new things, they seem rested,
Right.
while others are just constantly putting out fires, always saying, I just don't have time.
Mm.
It really boils down to being intentional. So, okay, let's dig into that core idea first.
Mhm.
This philosophical starting point, it's actually pretty profound because it immediately raises the stakes. If you accept time is life, then putting something off isn't just like delaying a chore,
Right.
it's delaying your own growth
Yeah.
and wasting time. Well, that's actively shrinking your own life potential.
That's the heart of it. And it's not just some feel-good mantra. The guide frames it like a transaction. You put time in wisely, you get a direct return,
Yeah.
more knowledge, actual personal growth, even greater happiness. You're literally building a better life minute by minute.
And you see this play out immediately in how the guy talks about mornings. It draws a really stark contrast, waking up late versus waking up early.
Yeah. Waking up late often means you're immediately reacting, right? Straight into emails, demands, other people's priorities.
Totally. But waking up early.
That's different.
Yeah.
That's you claiming time, time that's just for you. And the guide is specific. Use it for investing in yourself, reading, maybe studying something new, or critically planning out the day ahead.
So you shift from being reactive to being proactive.
Yeah.
You're the designer of your day, not just a participant dragged along by it.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And if we zoom out, thinking about this bigger picture, it means looking at every choice you make through this like investment lens.
Hmm.
If time is your currency, then while spending it on someone else's non-urgent thing or just scrolling aimlessly, that should feel like a real loss, like throwing money away.
Which brings up the obvious question then. How do we actually structure our days to make sure we are investing in ourselves first? How do we build that architecture?
Right? You need a system. Once you buy into time is life, the next step is the how. And the solution offered isn't some crazy minute-by-minute spreadsheet schedule. Those things are often too brittle. They break easily.
Yeah, one meeting runs late and the whole day feels shot.
Exactly. So instead, the sources propose this really elegant three-part thematic structure for the day.
I really like this idea. It feels flexible, but still provides direction. It covers those key areas we talked
Yeah.
about: learning, doing, and, well, recharging. It builds boundaries without being totally rigid.
It gives you anchors for your day. That's a
Hmm.
good way to put it. So even if, say, 10 a.m. gets completely derailed, the overall theme for that part of the day, the morning block, is still protected in your mind.
Okay, let's break this down, Fano, because this structure really is the core of the practical advice here. The day gets split into three distinct chunks based on, like, energy and purpose. First up, the morning. This block is dedicated to doing something for your mind. Then, second, the whole afternoon. This is carved out for doing something related to your goals. And finally, third, the evening. This is structured around doing something for your heart.
And what's really smart here, I think, is the order, the sequence. Why the mind first thing in the morning?
Good question.
Well, generally, right after waking up, for many people, that's when your brain is sharpest, your cognitive power is peaking. So that's your prime time for learning, for tackling complex stuff, deep thinking, activities that directly feed your mental growth.
Okay, but let me push back on that a little because for a lot of us, especially in a standard job, that line between mind work and goals work can get pretty blurry, can it?
That's fair.
Like if you've got a 9 to 5, your main goal work often involves using your mind. You can't always neatly separate them.
That's a really important point, and the guide does address it. Goals isn't just your day job, though for many people it is the primary focus. It's about goal-directed achievement. So for someone working that traditional 9 to 5, yeah, their main work tasks are the focus for the afternoon block. But the key is protecting that mind block before the main workday starts.
Ah, okay.
So the example used is maybe taking just 30 minutes in the very early morning before the 9 to 5 chaos begins purely for learning English or reading a challenging industry paper or, I don't know, studying a new coding language. That fulfills the mind part. Then the afternoon is dedicated to executing the job tasks, the stuff that pays the bills or moves that big project forward.
Got it. So you front load the deep personal learning when you're freshest, and then you shift into execution mode for your primary goals. That makes sense. And then comes the evening, the block for the heart.
Yeah, and this one is critical. The guide stresses it's non-negotiable if you want this to be sustainable long-term. This is your time for unwinding, for connection, for restoration.
So what does that look like practically?
The examples are straightforward, really. Relaxing, maybe pursuing a hobby you love, or just having dedicated time to talk with your family or partner. No screens necessarily, just connection.
Yeah.
It's the crucial piece that stops you from burning out.
Right.
Because, no matter how intense the mind and goals parts were, you have that heart block coming. It's protected.
So the framework itself kind of forces balance. It pushes you towards being a whole person focusing on achievement, yes, but also self-improvement and emotional health. You're not just a productivity unit.
Exactly.
Okay, so this structure sounds great, elegant, balanced, but we all know people can have the best plan in the world and still it falls apart. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because even the best blueprint is kind of useless if you let things constantly chip away at it. So now we need to talk about the flip side. What not to do. And this is where it gets really interesting. Focusing on those common ways time just gets stolen.
Oh, yes, the time thieves. We have to talk about them. And the source material is pretty blunt about the main offender in our modern world.
Let me guess. The phone.
Bingo. Spending way too much time on the phone. Specifically, mindless scrolling on social media or just passively consuming content without any real purpose.
The guide uses strong words, doesn't it? It calls it stealing time, which implies it's happening against your will almost, like a pickpocket.
It's a powerful metaphor.
Yeah.
And the issue isn't just the literal minutes you lose while you're scrolling. What's really damaging, and the guide touches on this, is the cost of context switching and decision fatigue.
Explain that a bit more.
Well, every time you get a notification, every time you do that quick check of your feed or email, it forces your brain to switch tracks, especially if you are in deep work during your mind block. So maybe you only scrolled for 5 minutes, but then it takes you another, say, 10 minutes just to get back into that focused state you were in before. That's the real theft, the recovery time.
Wow. So it's not a 5-minute cost, it's potentially a 15 or 20-minute cost every single time. That adds up incredibly fast.
It's exponential, exactly. Which leads us to the really crucial tool the source wants you to internalize. It's like installing an immediate internal auditor for your attention. You have to constantly, throughout the day, ask yourself one simple binary question. Is what I'm doing right now helping me, or is it wasting my time?
Ooh, I like that. It's so direct.
Yeah.
No ambiguity. It forces you to be accountable in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're supposed to be in your mind block, maybe reading that challenging paper, and you suddenly get the urge to check the news headlines, you run it through the filter.
Right. Is checking the news right this second, assuming it's not directly related to your learning goal, actually helping you progress? Or is it just wasting precious focus?
And if the honest answer is wasting,
then the instruction from the source is crystal clear and needs to be immediate. Stop. Just stop. Put the phone down, close the browser tab, whatever it is, and pivot straight back to the task that belongs in that time block. It's the core self-discipline trick needed to actually protect that mind goals heart structure you've set up.
okay, being that disciplined, almost ruthless with our time. It sounds effective, but also kind of daunting. And I can see how that pressure to be perfect could actually backfire, leading to procrastination. You know, that feeling of, oh, I already messed up my morning block, so the whole day is ruined. I might as well give up.
Yes. And the guide is smart about this. It anticipates that exact failure point, that perfectionist trap.
So it doesn't demand perfection from day one?
Not at all. It firmly rejects that idea. Instead, it offers this core incremental strategy. It's designed for building consistency, for commitment, not necessarily for immediate, massive output. The requirement is beautifully simple. Just commit to doing one small good thing every day.
One small good thing. That really lowers the bar, doesn't it? In a good way. It makes it feel achievable no matter what else happens.
Precisely. It's like a safety net for your intentions. Even if the time thieves totally hijack your afternoon goals block one day, you can still win the day. You can still make progress by hitting that one small target.
Okay, give us some examples of how small we're talking here.
We're talking genuinely small. The guy gives 3 really memorable ones. First, just read 1 page of a book. Second, learn 1 new word, maybe in a language you're studying or just a general vocabulary word. Third, take 1 small action towards a larger goal, like sending that 1 email you've been putting off.
Wow. Okay, 1 page, 1 word, 1 action. Anyone can do that, right?
That's the point. The smallness is where the power lies because it allows for compounding. Think about it. Read 1 page a day. That's 365 pages in a year. That's a whole book, maybe 2.
Yeah.
Learn 1 new word a day. Your vocabulary grows by 365 words. That's significant. These tiny steps, done consistently, create huge, undeniable change over time.
So that's the final piece of the puzzle.
It really brings it all together for you, the learner. Use the 24 hours well by structuring them intentionally with Mind Goals Heart. Protect that structure ruthlessly using the helping or wasting question. And guarantee forward momentum no matter what with that commitment to 1 small good thing daily. That's how you get the payoff. Faster learning, better life.
Okay, fantastic. Let's do a quick recap of the absolute must-know takeaways for you listening. First, really internalize that core philosophy. Your 24 hours are your life. Treat them with that level of value. Second, implement that simple but powerful Mind Goals Heart framework. Structure your day intentionally for balance.
Yeah, get those anchors in place.
And third, become your own time bodyguard. Constantly use that critical filter question. Is this activity helping me achieve my goals, or is it just wasting my irreplaceable time?
And remember, the difference between feeling constantly overwhelmed and actually achieving meaningful things often comes down to that commitment to tiny, consistent, non-negotiable actions. So, since the whole point of this deep dive is knowledge you can use, we want to leave you with one final provocative thought, something to apply right away.
Okay, let's hear it.
Based on everything we've discussed, what is the single, absolutely non-negotiable, one small good thing you will commit to doing first thing tomorrow morning? Make it so small, so easy, that you literally cannot fail. But make sure it directly connects your time to your growth, to your mind block.
What's that one tiny action going to be? Decide right now. Don't just think about it. Actually pick it. And then tomorrow morning, first thing, before the time thieves even wake up, do it. Protect that small win. We really hope this framework gives you some tools to feel more in control and start mastering your next 24 hours.